The Walkers of China refers to an eerie phenomenon that has been reported by locals and tourists alike in Beijing, Shanghai and other parts of China. For decades, rumours have circulated about shadowy figures known as the Walkers that appear late at night on the streets. These figures are said to walk at an unnatural pace, seemingly without any purpose or direction, and they are often described as dressed in old-fashioned clothing and moving silently. As the legend goes, these walkers are believed to be spirits, lost souls, or entities from a time long past, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. Some say the walkers are the spirits of people who died tragically, while others believe they are guardians of ancient Chinese folklore, ensuring that the living are protected from evil forces. The true nature of the walkers, however, remains a mystery, one that continues to haunt the streets of China after dark. The origins of the Walkers of China are unclear, and no one can agree on exactly where or when the phenomenon began. Some believe they're connected to ancient Chinese death rituals and spirits. According to Chinese folklore, when someone dies tragically, their spirit may remain on Earth, wandering aimlessly until it finds peace. The walkers are thought to be lost souls from the distant past, doomed to roam the streets for eternity, seeking a way to cross into the afterlife. While the walkers are mostly seen in older, more traditional areas of Beijing and Shanghai, sightings have been reported across the country. The walkers are often described as figures in ancient, ragged clothing with blank, emotionless faces. They are typically seen after dark, moving in a manner that seems unnatural. Their footsteps eerily silent and their movements unsettlingly smooth, as though they glide instead of walk. Here are some real stories of those who've encountered the walkers. The silent figure in the alley. One of the most well-known accounts is from a young couple who were walking home late at night in Beijing. They passed through a quiet alley near the Forbidden City, where they noticed an older man walking ahead of them. The man appeared to be dressed in traditional clothing from centuries ago. The couple quickened their pace to catch up to him, but when they reached the alley's end, the man had vanished. They swore they heard his footsteps, but they couldn't find him anywhere. Strangely, the temperature in the alley had dropped significantly, and both felt a sense of unease that lingered long after. The woman in the park. In Shanghai, a businessman walked through an ancient park at midnight when he noticed a woman sitting on a stone bench. She wore antique robes, and he was struck by how out of place she looked. As he approached, the woman glanced up at him with a cold, empty stare, but said nothing. He turned away to walk past her, but when he looked back, she was gone, vanishing in the blink of an eye. His footsteps echoed eerily as he made his way out of the park, but he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was following him. He later learned that the park was the site of an ancient cemetery, and many locals believed it to be haunted by restless spirits. The shadow in the subway. A subway passenger in Shanghai reported seeing a figure standing alone in an empty car, standing motionless with its back to the door. The passenger tried to ignore the figure, but as the train moved through the dark tunnels, they heard the figure's voice, low and hollow, as if it were whispering a warning. When the passenger turned to look again, the figure had vanished, leaving the train car eerily empty. The subway was known for its ancient tunnels, and locals speculated that these ghosts may be walking through time, trapped between eras. While some believe the walkers are simply ghosts, others suggest they may be supernatural beings with a deeper connection to Chinese folklore. Here are some theories on what the walkers could be. One of the most widely believed theories is that the walkers are the souls of the dead, those who have died under tragic circumstances. In Chinese culture, it's believed that souls whose deaths are unfulfilled or violent can become wandering spirits. The walkers are seen as a form of unrest, unable to cross over to the afterlife due to the nature of their deaths. Some believe the walkers are guardian spirits or spiritual entities sent to protect the living from evil forces. In Chinese culture, it is common to have protective spirits that watch over places like temples, cities and family homes. The walkers might be part of this guarding tradition, ensuring that evil spirits do not enter and harm the living. A more fantastical theory is that the walkers could be time travelers or spirit guides. These entities are said to walk through different dimensions with the ability to traverse not just physical space but also time. They may appear to us at moments when the barriers between different worlds are thinnest. The walkers of China. They move through the streets at night, silent, untouchable and eternal. They are the spirits of a time long past, still trapped in the world of the living. Will you dare to cross their path? The walkers never stop, and they never leave.